Hey friends, Mike and Jess here.
And welcome to Regeneration Nation TV. Today we're reacting to the second episode of the Ricky Gervais Show, Season 1. This is Knob at Night. I'm looking forward to this.
Yep, so we got through the first episode. That was fun. From what everybody says, it gets better as it gets going. So we're going to go in order. We've got a great playlist from our friend Little Monkey Fellow.
Yay.
And so we appreciate you reaching out. And yeah, the first episode we reacted to wasn't the greatest quality video-wise. So these are all great quality, high HD. We had a lot of people commenting. They're wanting us to turn the entire channel into a Ricky Gervais Show channel. You know, we appreciate the support and everything. We're going to do our best to get one per week out. So, yeah, that's what we'll try to do. Not a lot of things on the channel get that type of, you know, what should I say? Attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we manage to get it one per week, we'll do our best. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but yeah, we're gonna do our best to do that. I don't want to make any promises and not live up to them.
Yeah.
But a lot of people keep commenting about an idiot abroad as well. We are going to try to get one episode of that film soon, but there's a lot of episodes. They're like an hour long. It's very tough to film that length of video for us.
Yes.
Especially consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I know if we start down that rabbit hole, people are going to want that once a week, you know, and it's going to be tough for us to manage that right now.
We definitely got to manage it. So
for now, holding off on it, but we are trying to do something to film at least one. I don't know. I'm just rambling right now. You guys make me nervous. So we've got links for this down below. Go support the original, and let's get into this.
Let's do it.
For the past few years, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Karl Pilkington have been meeting regularly for a series of pointless conversations. This is one of them.
Testing. Is that all right? Hello and welcome to the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant. Hello. And the little round-headed buffoon that is Karl Pilkington.
All right.
So they said in the comments that they just filmed that little section right there for the show.
Mm-hmm.
The reason there's no video to look back on is because it was just an audio only, like, radio show that they turned into these episodes.
Okay.
But it confused me, and I'm glad you guys, you know, clarified.
Right, because we were like, why did they
they're filming it in a studio. Anyways, yeah, that's the lowdown on that.
It wasn't like real life filming the whole time, you're saying.
They literally just filmed that segment for this.
Makes sense.
Animated series.
All right.
Rick, you'll be pleased to know we've already had some responses, and Simon and Mark have already emailed us in this link to something that was on the BBC News website. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but it's a remarkable story. Lion mutilates 42 midgets in Cambodian ring fight. That's just the headline.
That's a hell of a headline. That makes me want to know more about the story.
Well,
that's what a headline should do.
Spectators cheered as entire Cambodian midget fighting league squared off against African lion. Tickets had been sold out 3 weeks before the much-anticipated fight. The fight was organised when an angry fan contested Yang Shamoni, president of the CMFL, claiming that one lion could defeat his entire league of 42 fighters. Well, the fight was ended, Rick, after only 12 minutes, after which 28 of the midget fighters were declared dead.
Right.
While the other 14 suffered severe injuries, including broken bones, lost limbs, and they were basically unable to fight.
But the lion wasn't hurt?
It would have seemed that the lion was okay.
Oh, good. Well, that's amazing.
Karl, what are your thoughts instantly?
Okay, so
gosh, Ricky's like, well, the lion was okay.
This is how I know that different parts of the world are way different than America, like than what my daily life is, because you hear about the Roman Colosseum and the gladiator type stuff, and there people flocks would come to see people die, That's what they wanted to see, and they would cheer for it. That is so barbaric to me, and I'm not judging anyone, but I didn't think that anything like that happened still today.
Well, it was because he got challenged, okay? It's not like they hold regular midget like lion fights.
But how do you go about that?
One-off.
You just take those 42 people and say, hey, you're going to risk your life for this lion fight. I'm going to pay you big, but you might not make it out.
Entertain it though. It's like the UFC, Dana White wouldn't be like, oh, really? A lion could beat 10 of my best fighters? Let's see it happen. He would be like, what? No, you're an idiot. Of course that.
No.
It's a lion.
What? That's so just, how did that even come about? Like, you as a person who is a fighter, you get paid to do fights, which is cool, all well and good. But if somebody, the owner of your, like, he tells you
one of them and he signed you up for that, you're like, what?
Like, did you do it? Did they do it within their will is what I'm asking. Like, were they aware of the risks?
They signed away all their rights when they signed up for his league.
Like, what? Oh my!
It would have seemed that the line was okay.
Oh, good. Well, that's amazing.
Karl, what are your thoughts instantly? I mean, you're bound to have a take on that.
See, what's annoying me is I've sent money to Cambodia because apparently they're hungry and haven't got any energy. So what's going on?
Well, it's much easier to fill up a midget than it is a regular Cambodian. You know, they're
I just
happy
feel
on
like
a Mars
I'm
bar.
being cheated a bit.
You were conned before with a charity, weren't you?
Well, a few times, yeah.
What about the old lady? What was that?
I got stopped, and it's like they sort of drag you in by saying, "Have you got a gran?" And I said, "No, they died," and that. It's like, "Oh, did they die of the cold?" No, she's, ill. What have you? Just old age. He said, "Well, what happens with a lot of people's grans is they die in the cold, right?" So I was like, "Oh, that's bad, isn't it?" Anyway, so she's chatting and she's showing me pictures of these old women who look cold, right? Saying, "Look at her, that's Edna. She's got no family. She can't pay the bills and all that."
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah. Anyway, it goes on for about 15 minutes and you feel bad. You give them your bank details, right? And what happens is, every couple of months you get a letter from Edna. Well, it's not from her, it's typed up and what have you. But there's a picture of Edna, right? And it's saying, oh, this December, Edna's going to be extra cold. It's cold outside, she can't afford to pay the heat.
What?
Yeah.
Keep going, right? So you keep paying every month like £5, whatever. Get another letter a few months later, right? Edna's sat there. She's got a tan.
What do you mean she's got a tan?
Well, when they said, she's cold, I thought they meant for the heating, not to send her on holiday for a month. She sat there with a tan. I'm not joking.
Are you sure it wasn't just a slight problem in the printing?
No, definitely.
Sure,
she looked well happy.
Sure, it wasn't liver failure.
You see, when does it become like bad to avoid people like that? Do you know what I mean? Cause
I just got what he said. It's true. It wasn't.
They're people like us who've just had a bit of bad luck.
Well, of course they are.
Yeah, I know, but I remember one on our estate, right? And she was a bit. What's the word that you can use? Because I don't want to offend anyone. But I'd say but sort of mental homeless. Is that a term?
That's the official term.
I think that is the
new official term.
I mean, they're already using the word midget, so I think that this is old.
Yeah.
This is older.
Yeah.
I think that it's become offensive over the years.
If you want to get into it, there's so many different words that people will be offended by that you'll be on this forever.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't think that comedy is a place where you need to be worrying about offending people.
No.
It's like the one safe space I feel like it should be anyways.
That's true.
But dude, to their point about the scams and stuff like this, it's so bad.
It is bad.
These scams are so prevalent. Mm-hmm. There's real people who need help. Mm-hmm. And you're so skeptical of who to help these days. Yeah. Somebody reached out to me on Instagram a few years ago from a country in Africa. And I went back and forth with them. I was very close to sending them money. And then a friend of mine from a completely different state, I'm talking to him and he's telling me about the same thing, about the same type of guy from the same exact city. And I'm like, oh, I'm being scammed right now.
Yeah, they're good because they give you this story. They become like friends with you. They give you this real
Dude was reaching out once a week. Very slow. Took it very slow at first.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
They play the long game. Yeah.
They're playing the long game with you.
They probably have scripts for different age ranges too, because you're a young guy, you're going to be skeptical a lot faster than an older lady would, like a lonely old lady, So they have probably scripts oh, go with this one, play the long game with him, because old ladies will, if you tell them anything about their grandchildren, you know what I mean, they're getting creative with it.
It's so messed up because there's people in that city that this guy was claiming to be that need help probably.
Yeah.
And it's
he's just
damn,
scamming.
that's so messed up.
Sort of mental homeless. Is that a term?
That's the official term.
I think that is the
new official term. It's mental homeless-itis.
Right, so she lived on the estate and what have you, and she aged.
How was she homeless if she lived on the estate?
Well, she sort of decided to stay around there because I think people on the estate spoke to her more than people who had money. So this mental homeless woman on the estate, and what she used to do, right? She acted quite normal, and she used to always push like a pram around with her, right? Everyone was like, she can't have a kid, can she? Right? And she was dead happy every day. She was up and down, walking up and down the road. Anyway, one day she sort of walked past, right? Turned round and looked in the pram. There's a bucket with a face on it.
Oh my God.
Rick, we've had an email here from a bloke. I think you're going to respect him because I think you can tell straight away from his name that he's the kind of guy you'd want to hang out with.
Go on.
I know how much you love fun people.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, and he's calling himself this, Paul the Party Animal Parker. He's emailed in. He's given himself that moniker.
Right, I assume they're in sort of like quote marks,
They're
are they?
in speech marks, yeah. Paul
Brilliant.
Party Animal Parker.
And he's calling himself that.
Yeah.
That I can't wait.
So when you picture him, what are you thinking?
Millhouse. I think he looks like Millhouse from The Simpsons.
Yeah. He's working in sort of an IT department, maybe?
Yeah,
for a large
possibly.
organisation?
Oh, I think he might still be at school.
Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
And this is the vital question. Do you believe him to be a party animal?
I believe him to be a party animal is as much as a man with a long scarf that his mum knitted him to look like Doctor Who can be a party animal,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you think
What is up with this snap, dude? What is up with the snap? I'm gonna be doing it the
He's
rest
a
of
cool
the day.
guy. I'm a cool guy. When people say they're a cool guy, they're a party animal. They do this. I'm
Knitted
cool.
him to look like Doctor Who can be a party animal,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you think that when people are organising parties at his school, they're thinking the first person they got to get on the list and make sure he's guaranteed as
You've
a
got
guest
to take Paul the
is
party animal.
Paul Parker.
Because I bet he's got millions of affectations. I bet he wants to be known as the one that carries around a biscuit tin.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the scarf.
He's the guy who only ever wears bowling shoes. It's his thing. It's his thing. He's a little bit kooky. It's his thing. And it is fairly interesting what he sent in. He's found this on the web. A Serbian man who has invented a sex machine for women. And he's appealing to Western women to test his device. It runs on a 390-volt electric engine, simulates sex, and has a 7.5-inch artificial penis. As soon as I read this, I was thinking, it's just imagining there going, oh, thanks for coming in, yeah, okay. So there's what's going to happen is there's a penis that's going to pop out from here, and it's going to have sex with you. I'm going to stand behind the machine. I've got to stand behind here. There's a lot of dials and stuff.
That's actually despicably clever.
I'm gonna stand by. It took me a second to catch on what he was talking about.
I'm going to stand behind the machine. I've got to stand behind here. There's a lot of dials and stuff. I don't want to bore you in.
Well, why do you have to stand behind it? Just
I can't. It's technical stuff, but I got to be behind the machine.
there's no penis on the robot at the moment. It's just a hole.
No, don't worry. What happened is I'll switch the machine on, I'll go behind, and then a penis will appear.
Will it be like a metal-looking penis?
It will be a robotic penis, but it will seem like it's a regular fleshy human penis.
So you've made this sort of like robotic penis look really realistic.
It's really realistic. You will not be able to tell the difference between, say, the robot one and mine, for instance.
Okay, well, I don't want to see yours.
No, there's absolutely not.
Because I've not come around here to have sex with a person.
I know, you've come around to test the machine. Yeah, I know, that's exactly what you're going to get.
Okay,
a lovely
well,
piece of mechanical action.
To a lot of people, sex is important, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Not to you.
Here comes Karl.
It serves a purpose.
What purpose?
No.
Because you don't want to have kids, so what purpose?
Just you know,
Something to do in the
something
evening
to do, innit?
when the telly's broke.
But for years, like they've found stuff, haven't they? Machines from like Roman times that similar to that setup.
No machines in Roman times.
Like that though, the old sort of knob on a stick machine thing.
The old Roman knob on a stick. I'm sorry, but I watch
Aqueduct.
Time Team every week, and Tony Robinson has never done that. An old knob on a stick machine.
I just think of Julius Caesar sitting down and go, okay, aqueduct, we love that. Thanks for that. Straight roads, good idea. We can see the enemy coming. What have you got there?
Well, I'm glad you've asked.
Ploncticus. What have you got there? Wankicus.
What I've got here is a Yodi knob, and I've put that on the end of a stick.
Oh, Stickus phallus. Okay, well done, Wankicus.
No.
Well done. You are my new right-hand man, as they say.
They do stuff like that. You've been in the London Museum and that, and they've got sort of sex stuff from years ago. They've got like these metal pants that they used to wear.
I don't know what that is.
Metal pants?
Yeah, sort of
Is
metal.
that a chastity belt, you mean? They used to make women wear them so that they could have
When-
sex
when-
when
No, but
men were-
they had them for blokes as well, though.
Metal pants for blokes.
Yeah,
Why?
I just think they sort of like sexy metal pants.
What? Oh, I don't know what you mean
What
with
are you
sexy
talking
metal
about?
Well,
pants.
they'll have to look because I haven't got it in front of me. It's just something I remember seeing, some sort of sexy metal pants that they used to wear.
What are you saying? Sexy metal
Carl,
pants?
they
that
always
was
had
not
to
British
be-
Museum, that was Soho.
No, what I mean
That was
is
Old Compton Street. You were looking
they
in the shop
always had
window.
to be ready for like battle and that, but these were a little bit sexy but protective at the same time.
So, Lancelot, are you ready to face the Black Knight? Yeah, what do you think of these? Huh?
I just want to look good on the battlefield. Will there be women watching, cheering us on?
Well, you're not going to fight like that, are you? What about with your
I'm going to wear nothing except these sexy metal pants.
But what about your chest is exposed?
No, well, it's a good chest. I've been working out.
Yeah, I know, but what I mean is you want metal
I've
all
actually
over.
been lifting up the round table every week. I just work out, do that about 4 times a day.
But that machine, right? Why did it have to be a woman, or could they have got a little gay fella in?
I
Let
don't
me
know.
just check. It doesn't actually specify the small print here.
I love that. Why do you want to see a little gay fella be?
I don't want to see it. I'm just saying they're sort of more.
Carl, why do you want?
don't wanna see it.
Why do you want to
I don't wanna
watch a
see it.
gay man get buggered by a robot?
I wasn't the one typing in gay machines on the internet, finding stuff out about them.
It's not a
Steve
gay
was.
machine. You just made it into a gay machine.
Yeah, he wanted to pleasure women with this machine. You're saying, can I see a little gay fella get a robot up his arse? You're the one requesting that, Karl
I don't want
Pilkington.
that. I'm just saying that.
You're the one that wants to see gay men with metal stuff up their anus.
No, what I'm saying is they're more up for a bit more experimentation than.
What are you saying? Why is that the case?
Why? Why'd you say that?
No, just.
He's digging a hole here.
Butt plugs and that. I mean, what I'm saying is.
You can't just say butt plugs and that.
I'm
I can't this far. Ew.
Oh my gosh, Ricky's just going in on him. He's
Yeah.
like, no, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Why did you say that?
Because
Knob
it
at
immediately
night.
involves the arse, so of course Ricky's going in on it. He likes the subject of booties.
butt plugs and that. I mean, what I'm saying is.
You can't just say butt plugs and that.
I'm just saying that I reckon they'd be up for it.
What
That's
do you know
I'm
about
saying.
butt plugs?
I don't know anything about them. I just remember seeing an advert for some once in a sex shop.
What are you doing?
No, I wasn't. I was just walking past. I was walking past the sex shop and that. And
Your eyes
you sort of
glancing,
looking.
glistening.
Why were you walking past a sex shop?
Just because I was on the way to work and that, and I passed one, and there was a little sort of one. It was open early, which I never understood. Right, it was about 8 o'clock in the morning. Right, and I
Who's
thought,
rushing out for butt
who's
plugs
rushing
that
out?
early in
Yeah,
the
who
morning,
needs
yeah.
them now? Right,
Yeah.
but I
I
sort
must
of
get
had
the bagel and some poppers on the way to work.
I walked past it and it had like a little post-it note or postcard type thing, and it was like pop in now, buy an item, chuck in some free butt plugs. And I didn't know what they for. I'd never heard of them before. But all I'm saying is I've since found out what they do with them.
What
And
do
if
they
they do that with them, then
Yeah.
give them a go on that.
Gross. I can't.
Another email here. It's an interesting fact. I'm hoping it's true.
I will say this is a lot more enjoyable with the higher quality.
Yeah, it is. I
This is
agree.
ridiculous, man. This is a ridiculous show.
They're so funny.
Another email here. It's an interesting fact. I'm hoping it's true. America's first nudist organisation apparently was founded in 1929 by 3 men. Now, what intrigued me when I read that is the fact that it's clearly 3 blokes just trying to meet some nude women.
They're all 52 balding
Exactly.
with little so those gold rimmed glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just wandering around, and it's all quite saggy down there, and they're just knocking on doors saying, we've just set up an organisation. It's perfectly above board, completely
Yeah.
legitimate. It's a nudist organisation. You got any women in there that want to come and join us? 'Cause we haven't got any
really.
female members at the moment. Got any women in there interested in, volleyball or trampoline?
Okay,
can't be doing
so according to today's standard, if we hadn't even created any kind of nudist colonies, I could see with the way that society is right now, a lot of people being weirded out by 3 naked men coming to their door and offering this nudist colony. But in the 1920s, men were a lot more respected. They led everything. Like, they were the big corporate, like, they were the ones that ran the business. They were the ones that, you know, made the money and all that stuff. I feel like they could have gotten away with it a lot faster than, so, because in my head, I'm like, did they really go door to door naked? But I mean, they probably could have. Like, they could have been like, this is our spiel. You have to believe us, and people would believe them. Women too.
Even in the 1920s.
I think so. I think it would have been a lot easier in the 1920s than it would be right now. But
I feel like, you know, I don't know. I wasn't around back then, but I watched Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
And I watched Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
And I feel like I would not risk my wiener getting chopped off by some crazy person because I walk up to the wrong house trying to recruit their wife to my nudist colony.
I don't think that they would start off being naked, though. I think they would go and hand out brochures or, you know, discuss the things that they're going to be doing at this nudist colony before they just get naked.
There's still the social norms, and I do not see anything to where that was socially accepted from that time period.
Also, you have to think about the prohibition, and when they had to do speakeasies, people were wanting to be sneaky. They wanted to go to these speakeasies and sneak alcohol. And then you think about the flappers. That was when women were cutting off their hair. They were wearing dresses. They were partying all night long. They were smoking cigarettes. Like, they were trying to do things that women didn't normally do. So they probably jumped on that bandwagon.
But they still weren't going to go around naked.
You never know.
People for it.
They probably wanted to be liberated.
Those trends would have died off real quick.
I don't know.
Me.
You hate nudists, don't you?
Nudists. I don't understand what it's all about at the end of the day. And here's something, right? Do you know, like, when you're a bloke nudist, right? Do you ever get any who just have, like, a small knob?
I don't understand the question.
What's that? What's your point?
Well, you know, are there any blokes who are knocking about who just have a normal-sized knob, or maybe a bit smaller than normal, who are happy wandering about showing off what they haven't got, if you know what I mean?
I don't think nudists are just doing it because they're so proud of their knob.
No, but there's got to be a little bit of that in it, isn't there? Just saying, most blokes
There's got to be a little bit of that.
You know, nudists, they must be pretty confident in themselves to, you know... I looked once.
What? Where are you going with this?
It's natural, that's what I'm saying.
What do you mean? This is Karl takes a sneaky look at menscocks.com?
No, what I'm saying is, it's natural.
You're in a gym.
No.
A lot of guys are getting changed, and you're just checking out their knobs.
You're at your bedroom window with a pair of binoculars, and there was a little fella across the road getting changed.
I was at some night out once.
Go on.
So you were at heaven, and you were in the toilet.
It was some night out, and some people come running on the stage, right? Some music started coming on, and these 4 people ran out. It was 2 women.
So you were at a gay strip club?
It wasn't gay in that. It was just a normal night out. Well, you know, some sort of party night out. Right. These people come running on, right? You got 2 women, you got 2 blokes.
Right.
They whip the knickers off, the fellas whip their undies off.
At the same time?
Yeah, all at the same time.
Was it like a choreographed thing?
So that happened, and all I'm saying is, right, before I had a look at the woman's bits, right, I just had a little cheeky glance at the fellas.
Why?
Just checking it out, just seeing is everything normal.
He is digging himself into a hole. How is he going to get out of this?
He said a cheeky glance at the man.
Before he looked at the women's bits.
Just had a little cheeky glance at the fellas.
Why?
Just checking it out, just seeing is everything normal down there.
Why weren't your eyes drawn instantly to the ladies' bits?
No, don't believe me. I had a look at that. All I'm saying.
But you went to the guys first.
Just. I didn't know how long pants were going to be left off for.
You missed your opportunity.
How much time I had.
You saw an opportunity to see some ladies' bits, and you thought I better take it.
No,
because this may never happen again.
No.
So what happened? So there's 2 women, 2 men, right? I don't know what sort of event this is where you're looking at anyone get their knickers and pants off. I don't know why you're looking at all. So you go right. There's knickers and pants off. Right. Let's check out the knob and testicles first.
You're telling me you've never, like, when you've been in a gym or anything, you've not just sort of turned your head, had a look, and gone, all right, yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
So let's just get this question right. Have we ever been in a gym and just taken a sneaky glance at a man's genitals? Is that your question to us?
Right. For me, it's the same as when you see someone who's a bit odd, 2 heads or whatever.
Well, I'll be honest. If I was in a gym and a bloke came in with 2 heads, I'd look.
What?
I'd get a sneaky glance in the mirror. I'd go.
Sorry, but you'd look at his genitals or his two heads.
His two heads.
Or would you sneakily look at the heads and then think, I wonder if he's got two cocks? And just.
if I'll tell you what, and now I admit it, if I'm ever in a gym and a naked man with two heads walks in, I probably will check out the genitals as well, just to make sure that he's got two of everything.
That's the thing that always freaks me out. I do sometimes go to the gym, and I live in North London, and the thing that always freaks me out is if there's an elderly man, often quite short. I'm always freaked out because there's at least two I'm aware of who've got very, very large penises. And I always find that really disturbing because sometimes you can't help but notice because it's like Godzilla coming through the change room. Do you know what I mean? So that I do admit that's the only instance where my eyes
There's
been
some
naturally drawn
things
to
in
it.
the world that I could go without
It
knowing.
looked like a monster from Monsters Inc. walking up on him.
Don't talk about Disney movies. Can't you say like Alien or something? God.
Do you know what I mean? So
there you
that
go.
I do admit that's the only instance where my eye has been naturally drawn to it.
Do you know what annoys me in gyms? Where people walk round happily naked all the time whistling. They get weighed naked, pop a towel on and take off 3 ounces.
How exact have those measurements got to be?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Pop a towel on. I mean, unless you're going on the space shuttle, I reckon you could give or take a couple of stone. Yeah, a couple
exactly.
of ounces.
Yeah. Absolutely right. Well, we've put that to bed.
Are we not going to get back to the fact what Karl said? Oh my!
He's like, I
gosh.
just want them to move on.
Karl, can I ask you a question?
Go on.
I know this is what a lot of the fans are already wondering. Is there going to be some monkey news today?
There's got to be.
Of course there is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want. I'm worried because maybe this will steal your thunder. But Sarah has emailed this in a chimp mauling under investigation. I know you're concerned because this actually fuses two of our greatest features, Monkey News and Knob News, into one seamless whole.
No.
Investigators said they are trying to figure out how 2 chimpanzees that viciously attacked a visitor at an animal sanctuary escaped from their cage. This is the grim bit. The chimps chewed off a man's nose and severely mauled his genitals and limbs.
Why did they go for his genitals?
Both of them did as well.
Eh?
Both of them. Did you say 2 chimps?
No, you're right. Yeah, it was chimpanzees too. Yeah, I don't know if
See,
both
which
of them
one
went.
did it?
They just saw that they're dangling away, and they
You
just
go
went,
for the nose?
Yeah.
I go for his bollocks.
I've heard about something like this, dude. I've heard about something like this. It's like they don't want you to reproduce or something like that. I can't remember exactly the details of what I heard, but maybe I heard about this story.
The
back in the
monkeys
day.
don't want you to reproduce.
Yeah,
it's
like
their
if they're-
natural thing to go for that. They know to do that on a
They're
human
vengeful
being.
little bastards.
Wow. How do you conduct such research to figure that out?
I didn't conduct research.
I'm saying you read something, so somebody else did.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I listened to it on another podcast or something. I have no idea, but I feel like I've heard about this story
That's crazy.
before, and then the reasoning the reasoning behind why they go for your freaking genitals like that.
Just saw that they're dangling away, and they
You
just
go
went,
for the nose?
Yeah.
I go for his bollocks.
And then what accent have they got there?
I
those
don't
chimps?
know.
Were they kind of New York gangster chimps? They're like soprano chimps.
They're pretty gangster chimpanzees that they're
What
tearing
happened
people
to
up.
them anyway?
Well, unfortunately, they were shot dead by the authorities.
You see, that annoys me a bit.
I know, well, again,
What are you talking about? They're attacking people's gonads.
I know, but they were happy in an African jungle a couple of years ago.
That's what they do, isn't it?
That is what they do.
But why aren't they just sort of tranquilised? Where was
Why
this?
have
Was
I
this
been
in the zoo?
accused like it was my fault? It's because I happened to be reading Sarah who emailed it in, so who should be getting a
It
apology.
just annoys me how
messenger.
one way it's kind of like, we're trying to save the pandas, and then the next day someone's shooting them or whatever. I've talked about this before about St. George killed the last dragon, right?
No, it didn't exist.
It's the same thing though.
No, there's never been any dragons. It's
No.
a mythical creature.
Well, you don't
By
know
mythical,
that.
it means we made this up, like the unicorn.
Well,
I don't even understand. What was your point about the dragon? What's that got to do with
because
this?
I'm saying out like, why is it all right to be going around going mental with a gun, shooting all the monkeys and killing them? Because one day we're going to run out.
This was an animal sanctuary, though. So presumably they had quite a cushy time there, because most of the ones I've visited, they've always got it easy. They're
But
hanging
you
around
don't-
on tyres, they got comfy chairs, they're wanking. They're going to the zoo, they're loving it.
I don't know about loving it. They're making the best of it, man.
Yeah.
It feels so weird. Like going to the zoo as a kid, and this might just be me, but these stories come out the more that we learn about life and everything, and I don't know, going to SeaWorld and the zoo, it feels a little bit icky now.
Yeah.
As a kid, I loved it.
Yeah.
Now
but
as
you
an
don't
adult,
realize
I'm
what
like,
you do as an adult.
Man, what the hell? What is wrong with us?
I don't know if their term for sanctuaries is like a zoo in
A sanctuary to where you have to like get the animal back to health.
Yeah,
Or it can't
it's
be
different
like
than
there
a
should
zoo.
definitely be places like that. You
Yeah.
know? But
I think when
just-
you think about a sanctuary, they're probably happier than they would be at somewhere like a zoo or a SeaWorld or something, because I feel like those are more corporations and they're trying to make money off of the animal, whereas sanctuaries are there to rehabilitate the animal and they're there to protect them. So I would like to think so anyway, because I think they still charge money to go into a sanctuary, but maybe it's just not as bad.
Yeah.
They got comfy chairs, they're wanking.
They're going to the zoo, they're loving
Had to
it.
get that part in.
But hang on a minute, you've just answered your own question there. You said they're in a sanctuary, so they haven't had a good upbringing. So they're going to be a bit more like madder than other monkeys, aren't they? Because that's where the ill ones go, isn't it?
Sorry, what do you understand by sanctuary?
Well, I've been to one for seals.
It's not like a borstal.
Yeah, exactly. He thinks it's a borstal. He thinks
like
that,
scum.
No, yeah. Like they did some bad stuff in the jungle. and they had a little monkey caught, and they went, send him to borstal.
So, well, what is it then?
No, it's a monkey sanctuary where it like a haven.
Well, it's not a haven, is it? They've got a bullet in the head.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Talking of eating knobs, Carol Thatcher, you know, a daughter of one of our leaders.
Sure.
Well, you saw her in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. She popped a couple of bollocks in the mouth, chewed them up, swallowed them.
Oh.
Kangaroo penis there, dried. She couldn't even get. It was so tough she couldn't even get through it. And then she, eventually she eats
What was it,
it.
like a pepperoni?
Yeah. And she said, "What do you think of that, Karl?"
What, eating that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
I watch it. I like those little trial bits, right?
Yeah.
But what I don't think people realise is, right, it is hard eating a little kangaroo knob. Right?
Really? How'd you know?
No, it's just, you know, you think about it and you go, oh, couldn't do that, right? But what they never mention on the TV programme, which I think takes it to the next level, right, they're eating that at like 7:30 in the morning.
Sure. Right.
Which
for
is
breakfast.
worse, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? If
so
I was there...
funny how you hear a story and your mind kind of goes this way, and then when Karl starts talking, his brain is completely over this
It's
way.
going in
And
a direction that you never thought it would have went. Like,
love it so much. I love
what?
just hearing what he has to say about what was just
they're eating
said.
it in the morning, so it's a bit harder, you know. Like,
Well, that's not
like,
the first
are
thing
you
that I
talking
want to
about
eat in the morning.
wood?
No,
Like,
he's-
what is he talking about?
No.
Right.
Which
for
is
breakfast.
worse, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? If I was there and Ant and Dec said, right, Karl, eat the knob, I'd go, hang on a minute, give us a few hours, let me get some rice and that on my belly and just sort of fill me up a little bit more. I'll pop back at about 6:30 this evening,
Right.
have it ready. And I'd be happier then. It's just that thing of, you know,
You don't want to eat animal genitals on an empty stomach.
So what are you saying? You could
I'm saying like I could eat a knob at night, but
just cut that there. We'll loop that. If any DJs are listening, just take that quote. I could eat a knob at night by Karl Pilkington. Maybe do a dance remix.
Yeah, maybe you're sort of a house producer and you could maybe get some kind of high energy beat going, and then we could just send that out to some of the gay clubs. I'm sure it'd be really popular.
Please, anyone send us, you know, that looped with a nice little, you know, funky house beat. Karl Pilkington saying I could eat a knob at night.
Oh my gosh, dude.
God.
Rick, it's that time again. It's
The
what everyone's
title
waiting
of the
for. Can you do the...
I could eat a knob at night.
Oh my god.
What in the world? A quote I never thought I would hear.
Oh my.
Rick, it's that time again. It's what everyone's waiting for. Can you do the jingle for us?
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news. You.
like this week the monkey news is about, you know, we all know, like, you know, there's monkeys knocking about that aren't happy in this country.
Sure.
Aren't they?
It is a big problem, yeah, it's an epidemic.
So they've set up like this place where they all go. The ones that aren't happy in a zoo and what have you, it's getting them down.
They can phone a number and they'll come and pick them up.
Pop them in this house place, right? And basically they can run riot in there.
Yeah.
They get freedom to sort of cheer themselves up. There's 3 people running this place, right? So these monkeys, big house and that.
PlayStation, anything they want.
Gym, all that lot.
Jim.
One of them wanted to mess about with the woman's breasts. Right?
Which woman's breasts?
The woman who works there.
Right.
Right? And she was like, right, pack it in, we've all had a bit of fun. You've been in the gym and everything. She obviously, got a bit excited and that. He was fired up and that, ready for some more action and that. He's trying to have a go on this woman's breast, right? She was like,
Have a go.
She was like, no, you're not doing that. Pack it in and all that. The boss who's running the place was like, come on, let him have a go.
No,
What?
Right, you're talking shit.
So anyway, right? So he's there, and he's
So the boss says, yeah, you
the
can have a
monkey's
grope.
saying, the boss is saying, let him have a go.
Come on, Rita. If Monkey wants to play it with nipples, let him.
So she's like, I'm not happy with this, and he's going, come on, you know the rules here. We've got to cheer these monkeys up.
Oh, this is absolute
We
fun.
valued it.
Actually,
So
no, and
stupid.
in the end, because she didn't allow it to happen, the fella bloke sacked her, got someone else in.
Oh my
I want
God.
to see the advert he put in the Guardian media page. I love that. Woman wanted to let chimp feel tits whenever it wants.
Well, it's all.
You're
my
talking absolute shit again.
Well, we'll see.
That is no way that happened.
Oh my god.
See Steven and Ricky go back and forth, and they're back and forth going on these tangents, just. And then Karl's so slow. Take that how you want.
Pause.
He's so slow. But it's just, I don't know, man. Like, they're feeding off each other. They're like, oh, yeah, this. And then what if this happened? And what if this? And then he comes and he's like, just the most ridiculous thing. He's slow. And he says the most ridiculous things you've ever heard. And then they just stare at him. Like, what are you talking about? We were going back and forth, rapid fire. And here you come. We have to listen to what you're going to say for like 15 seconds before you even get to where you're going with it. And then it's like, what?
I like it. I like the dynamic
I
because
love
the two
it.
of them
I
are
love it.
super quick-witted with each other
It's
and with
perfect.
Karl. And so when he says something, they're very quick to come back with something else. But Karl is so calculated in his brain. I wonder what's going on in there. I wonder if it's just as quick-witted, but it just the way his delivery is. He's very calculating, and he adds something else to it. You
I
know
don't
what
know
I mean?
if I would describe Karl as quick-witted.
I'm saying, like, I don't know.
Slow-witted. I don't know if that's a term.
I'm saying inside of his head. You don't know what's inside of his head. He
He's
could
just
be
in there
delivering
listening
it
to
on
them,
purpose like
rapid
that.
fire, going back and forth. Like, it's perfect. It's a perfect dynamic.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Because if you had another person there that's quick-witted and going back and forth with them, it almost... Yeah, it would be funny, I'm sure. But,
Yeah.
man, it's perfect. It's the
Yeah.
perfect dynamic.
I like the opposite energies because they match each other's energy, and then Karl's over here and he just kind of adds something else in there. It's just
It's like,
funny
what?
and unexpected as well. Like, I didn't know where the knob at night was going to come in, and then we got it. It was so random. Oh,
I
my
could eat a knob
gosh.
at night.
I can't. Gosh. You know, I didn't like. I knew that Fear Factor and shows like that, they make people eat stuff like that because it's, they want to
That's
do
what
that.
I thought of, too. When they
But
were on that.
Rocky Mountain oysters, I did not know that was a thing, and that was actual balls. It's not
Really?
oysters. It's
That's just a nice thing they call them.
yeah, it's just a different word for it. I think it's buffalo oysters or buffalo balls or testicles or something. I can't remember what animal it is, but it's Rocky Mountain oysters, and I'm like, oh, this person's making a recipe for this, and I'm like, that's not
renaming
what I
mine.
thought. It's not what I thought it was at all.
I'm renaming mine then.
Don't. What? I want to ask you what you're going to. I don't want
I got to think about it. I had to think about this, but it's something, you
So-
learn something new every day. I didn't know they were coming up with really cool names like that, throwing people off.
Yeah, to disguise it and like make you eat it without knowing, and then you're like, oh, I'm eating an oyster from the Rocky Mountains.
Actually, those are my balls. Sorry. There's moose balls. Like, you're an idiot for thinking that the oyster was this big anyway, so.
Gross. I can't.
Like, wow, the oysters are huge in
In the Rocky Mountains.
Oh my gosh.
If you made it this far with us, we really appreciate you watching it and
Yeah.
continuing this journey. This has been really, really fun. I've definitely enjoyed this.
Yeah, Steven, Ricky, and Karl are hilarious together.
They're good
This is going to be
together.
a fun journey. Only on episode 2. We're going to have to make a playlist so everybody can find them very easily if
Yeah.
this is your first time this is a little bit late. If this is your first time here, you probably should have paused at the beginning, went and watched episode 1. But if this is your first time and you're still here, go watch episode 1.
Yeah.
We'll try to make it as easy as possible to find.
Yeah.
And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye, friends.
Peace.
I'm not scared of you.